Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can actually load, Access database into Power BI. That's possible.
Okay.
Okay. So, extremely sorry to interrupt you. I just want to provide a little bit of further clarity. Okay.
Yeah.
In Access, there is an option to export data into ODBC, right? So you can actually export it to ODBC, and Access all Power BI also has an ODBC connector. Okay, using that ODBC, you can actually import the data into Power BI. Okay. Or else, on dedicated this thing, what I can say, Access, option is also available, and both are Microsoft this thing itself, platform itself. So yes, both are compatible itself. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, guys? So we answered Rathod's question and Keman Das' question. And I think right now it is 2 o'clock. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candidates in our session. Okay. Just give me a confirmation that is it the right strength, or do I need to wait?
Currently, people are joining. Okay. Can wait for more 5 minutes.
Okay. Meanwhile, Sanjay, Ashwini, and Akash, if they have any questions from previous class, okay. Even Nitin as well. If Nitin has any questions from previous class, he can actually ask me. I'm there to help them.
Just one question I want to clear.
Yes, Vijay.
We had the 2 sessions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
One was regarding the introduction part. And the license and all details.
Yes, sir.
Second one was regarding the Power Query. Okay, so main purpose of Power Query, which I came to know about the overall session, was regarding the if you have any errors or any correction in the data, then by the use of Power Query, you can correct the data.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right.
Main agenda of Power Query is to correct the data.
So there is a process in database. Okay, it's actually called as ETL, extract, transform, and load. Okay, so this Power Query is one such tool which can actually do this ETL process for you. Extract the data, okay, transform the data, and load the data into Power BI. Okay, hope you are able to understand it.
ETL.
Yes, ETL, sir. Extract, transform, and load. All these 3 activities are being done by Power Query, sir. Extract, transform, and load.
Okay, so we studied the detail about this transform and all.
Yes, sir.
All features what there are.
Yes, sir.
As Kemandas sir asked you regarding the Microsoft Access. Okay. So how many types of systems this Power BI can collect the data?
Let me share my screen, sir. Okay, I don't know which screen I'm actually sharing you. I think it's going to be 2. Currently, I'm actually working on a employee performance dashboard for one of my US client. Okay, so let me help you with various types of connections. So Power BI say that it can connect more than 100 database. Okay, and it holds true as well, being very frank with you. Okay, so it has been categorized into various types. One is something called as file types. Okay, so here these are the various types of files that you can connect. Okay, and database. When I speak about database, okay, there are various types of database, okay, which are actually available here. You can actually connect with all these database. Okay, can you see that? Okay, and and adding to that, you also have something called as Power Platforms. Okay, so these are the Power Platforms where you can actually connect, like either it can be a Power BI data set, Power BI data flow, or various other data flows as well, Azure data flows as well, and adding to that common data service, legacy systems and all. okay, database and all. And Azure, when we speak about Azure, they have a very dedicated, what I can say, pathway where you can actually connect it to blob storage, okay, table storage, Cosmos DB, and various other database. And similarly, there are also something like online services. Okay, so in online services, okay, you have a couple of options, like you can connect it to a online, SharePoint, GitHub, okay, Google Analytics, okay, Azure DevOps, okay, and all these things. And I think ODBC will also come here itself. I mean, the access one, what we spoke about. Okay, you can even connect it to Zoho. Okay, see here.
Access was there in database.
There also you can connect it, sir, and even here also you have an option to connect. Okay, yes, here ODBC is extremely sorry. Okay, so ODBC, OLED, OLED. Okay, so you can actually connect it from these options. Okay, so I think someone is not on mute. Let me have a check. Okay. Okay, everyone is on mute. That's wonderful. Okay, so these are the options which we are actually having to what I can say, load the data. Okay, hope you're able to get it. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I think we have on an average, we have something like 12 people. I think we have the right strength to go ahead, isn't it?
Hello.
Yes, Vijay.
Yeah, yes, we can start.
Yes, we can start. Okay, that's wonderful. I just want to ask again, do you have any questions from previous class? Yes or no? Any questions, guys? Any questions? Second, I also want to ask you that, do you have Power BI installed in your system? How many of you have Power BI? Please say I have on the chat. Okay. I'm waiting for your response, guys. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so any of the candidate who don't have? I think 100% of the candidates do have Power BI. So that's wonderful. Thank you very much, guys. So that's really good. So if you are going to open your chat, I have shared two files. One is called as order2017.csv, and second is called as Nitin. Can someone help Nitin to install Power BI? Because I know there is a firewall issue with your system. I mean, in your company. Can someone help Nitin ASAP? And adding to that, I have also shared something called as people.csv. Yes, our IT guy is here. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Sanjay, for the update. Okay, so Sanjay and others can actually help Nitin to install Power BI on the system. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so now what we are going to do is today we will be understanding two topics majorly. Okay, let me open my docs. Okay, drive.google.com. Proposal for, yes, that's the one. So here in this session, we will be speaking about two topics today. Okay, and we will be trying to understand something called as relationships in Power BI, which is also called as cardinality. Okay, and second thing what we are going to do is we will be also understanding the DAX part. Okay, in simple way, we will be speaking about the cardinality, and we will be also speaking about the DAX as well. Okay, so Before I start, I just want to ask Nitin. With Nitin, you have installed Power BI. You can come on Discord, because it can be really difficult for everyone without having this thing, what I can say, Power BI. The learning process can be hampered. So that's the reason. Okay. And people who have this thing, what I can say, Power BI, they can actually download people.csv and order 2017 CSV file onto their system and load it in Power BI. Okay. I just want to open my Power BI. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to open my Power BI. Just give me a minute. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I have my Power BI out here. So if I want to load my Power BI, so what I will do is, first I have to understand, okay, which type of data type it is. As I've been saying you, this is a CSV file. So what I will do is I will go to CSV/text, this particular thing. Then what I will do is I will find the path. So I have stored it in something called as D drive. So I have something called as Power BI 360, Power BI 360. Okay. Here I have something called as order 2017. I'm just going to say open. Okay. So I have this particular, what I can say, table, which is in this particular format. I'm just going to say, okay, load this. Okay. Now the data will be available here. It is getting loaded. Okay. Similarly, I am also going to load the another CSV file, which is actually called as people table. As I can see, this people table is actually having a problem. Okay. The first row, which is actually available here, is the header. Agree with me? So what I have to do, can someone come on Discord and explain me the same? Someone come on Discord and explain me the same? What we have to do now? Yes. What we have to do? Yes, yes, yes. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We have to go to transform data. Okay. And we have to say first row as headers. Okay. For people table. I'm just going to say first row as headers. Voila, we got it. Okay. So then what I have to do is, do I need to use close and apply or apply? Do I need to use close and apply or apply? Yes, that's wonderful, Rathod. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's close and apply. Okay, so if I'm going to say close and apply, okay, right now I don't have people table. It is getting loaded. Now we have the data, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. So guys, now I want to ask you that, Nitin, do you have a Power BI on your system? Point number one. Point number two, I hope everyone have loaded the, what I can say, CSV file on the system, isn't it? Just give me a confirmation, guys. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you guys.
So hopefully we'll get soon, but you may continue till that time. Just don't wait for me only.
Okay. Akash, Ashwini, Rathod, Khemandas, Nathan, Praveen, Rajesh, Ravindra, Sanjay, Suneet, Vijay, last. Loaded. Wonderful, wonderful, Praveen. That's wonderful. Okay. How about Nitin? Nitin, you got your Power BI?
No, actually, IT person is working on his PC.
Oh, is it so?
So you can continue.
Sure, sir. No worries. No worries.
Conference room, so we all are together.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Okay. So now what we have done is we have loaded the data. Okay. So there are three views. There are three views to see the data. Okay. Number one is this particular view, which is actually called as report, which is actually called as Power BI report. Okay. Or else it is also called as data report as well. Second type of view is actually called as data table. It's actually called as data table, which is actually available here. I can actually click on this, and now I'm able to see the data in a relational database, a relational format like Excel kind of thing. Okay. Third type of view, which is actually available, the third type of view, which is actually available, is called as model view, which is also called as data model. Can you see that? Which is also called as data model. Okay. So we will be discussing about this particular thing called as data model. Okay. On this particular thing called as data model. So here we will try to identify, what are the various types which are actually available, and how we can actually deal with this. Okay. So, so this has an automatic relationship. What is meant by automatic relationship? Automatic relationship means the Power BI was able to identify the relationship between these two tables automatically without any human interface. Okay. So that's the reason there is a small line. Can you see? There is a small line. Okay. Between the people table and the order table. What is this relationship? What they are actually speaking? So guys, hope you remember that we actually merged two tables in our previous Power Query transformation, isn't it? Okay. So we bought people table. We also had order table. Then what we did is we joined it. Okay. Joined these two columns. Okay. I mean, based on the column called as region, we joined it. How many of you agree with me? Right? So here in this session, what we are going to do is we will try to create, okay, visualization using something called as cardinality. Now people might be saying, what is this cardinality when we have, okay, a capability in Power Query to merge these two tables? Why he is actually teaching this data cardinality? People might be having this particular question in their mind, isn't it? So what really happens is when you try to merge different tables into the main table, the size of that main table, like the size of the order table, will actually grow. It will actually become really big. So when it becomes really big, it can be really difficult to work with. So that is one reason Power BI actually has an option called as cardinality. Okay. And people who have knowledge on database, like who have basic understanding about schema, okay, like what is meant by fact table, what is meant by dimension table, okay, and what is star schema, snowflake schema. So they will be able to identify this particular thing, okay, wherein if you see the people table, okay, which is actually having the unique variables, okay, with the person representing. Similarly, here in order table, we also have a column called as region, which is having all the various types of region like central, east, south, west. Agree with me? Any questions here? Any questions? Okay. So what is going to happen is we are actually not going to merge these two tables in Power Query, because as I've told you, it can be complicated for the table. The table will be overloaded or overcrowded. For that particular thing, we have an option called as creating a relationship between the two tables. Okay. So what is an advantage of creating this particular table? So now what I'm going to do is I will go to my report. Okay. And now I'm going to create a small table. And now I'm going to create a small table. So what I'm going to do is I will create, okay, a rows, okay, a rows with, okay, Anna, Cassandra, Maggie, and Kelly. So these are the 4 people who are handling those regions. Okay, if you want, you can actually put this as well. Okay. Okay, now you will be able to see. Anna is handling West. Okay, Cassandra is handling South, and Maggie is handling East, and last but not the least, Callie is handling Central. Agree with me? So I am clicking on something called as matrix. Be with me. I will also provide you some time to practice this as well. Okay, be with me. Okay, now I have another table. Here we have something called as order table. So here in this order, I have a column called as profit. So now I want to see which person, which sales representative or which person is providing me more profit, whether it is Anna's region or whether it is Cassandra's region, Maggie's region, or Kelly's region. I want to see that particular thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this profit and put it into values, something like this. Ta-da! Okay, so now I'm able to see, I'm just going to remove the region. Now I'm able to see a table. Now I'm able to see a table, which is actually providing me details, Okay, Anna is able to make the highest amount of sales. Okay, and Callie is one such lady which is actually making the lowest sales. Agree with me, guys? Okay, so this type of visualization I can actually create with the help of this relationship. Okay, Samesh, what if I'm not going to have this relationship? What will actually happen? So in that case, if I'm not going to have this relationship, let me click on this. Let me click on this line. Okay, right click it and delete it. I'm just going to right click this and say delete this. So if I'm going to delete this, what will actually happen is, okay, when I'm going to see the value, the values are not going to be proper. So now it is saying Anna is making 2,86,397. Okay, similarly, Cassandra is also making the same amount of sales. Okay, and even Maggie, even Callie, all of them are making the same amount of sales. Okay, as there is no relationship, I repeat again, as there is no relationship between table 1 and table 2, that's the reason it is showing these kind of values. Okay, so do you know, now I want to ask you, do you know what and why we need cardinality in Power BI? Yes or no? Do you have any questions? If you have understood, type understood on the chat. Yes, sir.
The number which you are seeing like a profit, after we have removed this cardinality, it is by default, or it may come into a different format itself. Like we have not considered any relationship here. So everybody is showing the same profit and some is also showing the same. So from where it is picking up when we are not having any relationship defined at all?
Beautiful question, sir. Being very frank, it's a very beautiful question. Okay, so it will provide the total. Can you see that? Now I have a relationship. See here, Vijay sir. Now I have the relationship. Now I have built the relationship. So here I have the total. Okay, so if I'm going to remove the relationship, what I will do is I will go to this table. Okay, I will just right click this. I will say delete. Okay, now I'm going to delete this relationship. If you see, you will be able to see the same number, that is 2,86,000. Can you see that?
Sure.
Answered?
Yeah, thanks.
Sure, sir. Any other question? Really big, good question. Really good question. Any other question?
Can we again, if I want to add one more relationship?
जी sir, हो सकता है. It can be possible.
Okay, and
Okay, we will also experiment with that. Okay.
okay.
Okay, we will also experiment with that. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Okay. So that's really good. That's really good. Okay. So now I think, I call him as Vijay itself. I think there is another question. Yes. Any other question? No, right? Okay. So what is actually going to happen is Vijay actually told Sangmesh, is there any possibility that can I involve people table and something else as well? Let me come up with a scenario. Sir, okay, if you go to this this thing, what I can say, table, okay, we have something called as ship mode. Can you see that there is something called a ship mode? Okay. So in the ship mode, there are various types of levels. There is something called as first class. There is something called as same day. There is something called as second day. And there is also something called as second class as well. Can you this thing as well? And can you agree with me? There are 4 different levels. Okay. So now in your company, your company is going to provide you something called a success rate. Is going to provide you something called a success rate, which is going to say what is the success ratio. I mean, if you are going to deliver the product, okay, and it will reach the end user's hand safely. Okay, that is called a success rate. So what if your company is going to provide something called a success rate? Okay, like first class is going to have something like 70% success rate. Same class is going to have something like 50% success rate, something like this. Okay, in that case, you can actually incorporate it. So now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to create a table. Okay, so please make sure this creating the table is very, very much essential. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take a small screenshot of it for a reference. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go for home. Okay. Here in home, I have an option called as something called as enter data. Okay. I have something called as enter data. So what I can actually do is I can create something, a kind of Excel, Excel. Okay. So here in this Excel, what I can actually do is I will create a small quick table, which will consist of all these 4 values like this. Okay. FRIST class. Is it called as first class or first day? Yes, it's called as first class itself. First class. And second is called as second standard class, STANDARD, standard. Is it class? I assume so. It is class. Let me have a check. Okay, it's standard class itself. That's wonderful. And second is second class, SECOND, second class. I think there is also something called a same day, same day, or is it same class? I don't know. Let me have a check as well. Same day, right? Same day. First class, second class, standard class, and same day. Okay, wonderful. Now I have created a small table called as first class. So let me call this as shipping mode. Shipping mode. I can call this anything. Okay, I can call this as not shipping mode. I will call this as shipping model, something like this. Column name is not going to be important here. Okay. Second, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to say something called a success ratio. Success ratio, something like this. I mean, it's a kind of ratio between 0 to 100, something like that. So I will say this first class is having very poor this thing, what I can say, delivery ratio. I will say 0.5, 50%. And standard class is having something like 90% success ratio. Let's give it as a highest. Second class is having something like 60%, 60%, and same day is having 40%. Let's say 40%. Okay, I have created a small table. Okay, I can say Control C. The reason is why I'm actually showing you is, or creating a table is, I want to show you multiple methods how you can actually do data entry in Power BI. You can do data entry in Power BI. Number one, I just spoke to you on something called as enter data. You can click on this enter data. Okay, you can click on this enter data. You can say shipping mode or something like that, like shipping SHIPP and the shipping mode or something like that, shipping mode or something like. You can do that. Or else what you can actually do, like if you want to create another column, you can click on this like this. You can do that. Or else what you can actually do is you can just copy that and paste it out here like this. Just paste it. Copy paste will also work in this particular area. Okay. So here I'm just going to say shipping success, SHIPPING, success, 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 something like this. Okay. So I'm just going to say load. Please make sure, I want to be really sure here. Okay, if you are this thing, what I can say, naming convention is different, or if there is any spelling mistake, if there is any case sensitive error like capital, small letter and all these things, there will be issues while connecting and all these things. Okay, I'm just going to make you aware on this. Okay, so I have something called a shipping model. So can you see that there is no relationship between shipping model and the shipping this thing, what I can say, shipping.
Hi, Sangmesh.
Yes.
Actually, my network problem here. Can you repeat it?
Which is that specific thing that you have lost, from where you are able to understand?
From relationship between two tables, how to create tables, how to copy paste Excel data to from there.
Okay, no worries. So now what we have done is, we have just loaded this particular table here. And if you are able to see the table, okay, that is order table and shipping success table. Okay, these two are not having relationship. Agree with me? These two are actually not having relationship. One reason why these two are not actually having relationship actually depends on the name of the column. Can you see that? As there was a identical name, I repeat again, as there was an identical name, there was an automatic relationship between these two tables. Okay, so as the what I can say, name of these two columns are completely different, there is no automatic relationship. So you might be scratching your head, oh my god, then what to do? Create a relationship. Very easy. So how you will create a relationship? You will go here, you will click on this shipping mode, you just drag this, you just click on it. Okay, you just need to click on it. Okay, and then what you have to do is you just need to drop it like this. That's it. Very simple. Okay, now you are able to see the relationship. Do you have any questions, guys? So if you are done, if you are able to understand it, then I want you to do 3 tasks. Okay, load the two tables. Okay, create the what I can say, if there is relationship, that's absolutely fine. If there is no relationship, delete. If there is a relationship, then delete the relationship, then connect the relationship. Yes, sir.
When you are joining that first and last table, if there is a field must be matching within two table, right? Then and then only that relationship will be possible.
There need to be a matching column, sir. There need to be a matching column or matching values. So if there is a table which is called as pin code, not pin code is yes, that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to go here. Okay, I'm just going to go here into this table. Okay. So here I have something called as postal code. Okay. We here in India, we have something called as PIN code, right? So the PIN codes and postal codes, they both are not going to match, because if I'm going to say 583203, that's my PIN code out right here. Okay. And Pune may have a different PIN code, and Mara, you know what I can say, Ahmednagar may have a different PIN code, right? Agree with me. So those PIN codes will never match with the PIN codes which are in US, right? They use something called as postal code. So in that case, you cannot actually create any kind of relationship. So there need to be some of the identical relationship between these two columns. Hope I have answered your question, isn't it?
As well as the field also, means whatever the data we have in that field. Is field I mean for column I am saying as field. Okay. So in that column, whatever the value,
Yes, sir.
to table, that must be similar.
Ji, sir. Yes, you're absolutely right. Those two need to be same, sir. If it is not going to be same, there are types of cardinality that I will be speaking after something like 5 minutes. Okay. First, I want to make everyone clear on this particular part. Clear?
Okay.
Any example you can give?
Sir, I will give you example. I have example for the same, sir. So people who don't have any questions, okay, I request to load the data into Power BI. Number one, if there is relationship, delete the relationship. I don't want relationship between these two tables. Okay, then create the relationship. I just want to help everyone that there need to be something called as one here, and there need to be something called as many here. Okay. If you are not able to create it, okay, if there is something different, please reach me out, because there is something mistake. There is a mistake, and we need to take attention to have a check on that. So that's the reason. Okay, everyone are actually able to see this star as well as one. If you are done, ping done on the chat. I'll be waiting for your confirmation, guys. I got one confirmation. Ravindra has actually done. Ashwini has done. Two out of 12 people. 2 out of 12 people. Two out of 12. Do we need to delete and again relink the relationship? Yes, sir, Ravindra. Yes, you're absolutely right. Okay, if you have some time, people who are done with this particular thing, they can actually create a table, okay, an artificial table, okay, that I have created like this, okay, like this particular thing, like shipping success. Okay, you can actually use the same, okay, values, okay, like 0.5 or something like that, but please make sure that shipping model's name need to be accurate. If there is any case sensitive mistake or something like that, there will be issues. So that's the reason. Okay.
Sangamesh.
Yes, sir.
I will share my screen.
Sure, sir. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen.
So can you see the screen?
Not right now. I don't know about others. Can anyone see his screen?
Not yet.
Not yet, right? there is an option called as share, screen share. Okay, you can click on something called as Alter S. Okay, and yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So now, actually,
Yes, I'm able to see your screen.
so now I just want to change the header field. Means I want to
First row as headers.
So how I can do that?
We have addressed this in our previous class, but let me help you again. So for that, you go to something called as transform data. So can you go to home? Oh, extremely sorry. You have to click on report section first. Can you click on report? Reports, which will be, just give me a minute. I will help you on that. Just give me a minute, sir. So can you click exactly out here, sir? Okay, exactly out here, this area. This area. Let me bring with another color, drastic color, red color, something like this area. Can you click on this area, sir? Beautiful. Thank you very much. Can you click on this area, sir? This area. Transform data. Beautiful. 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 So now you are into Power Query Editor. Can you see that? Now you are into Power Query Editor. Now there is you have to click on people table first. Okay, then you have to click something called as first row as headers. Can you see that?
Okay.
This extremely sorry. First row as headers. First row as headers. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, you are done. You have to use close and apply now. Now you have to use something called as close and apply. Azala. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Can you go to model now?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. This one. The relations.
There is a relationship. Can you delete this relationship for me, Vijay?
Yes. Yes. One.
Beautiful. Now can you create the relationship? That's it. Simple. Ho gaya. That's it.
Right. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is a small baby step towards cardinality. Okay. And I hope people are not having any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to come to me. I'm there to help you out. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Oh, not request control. Any questions? Can you stop sharing your screen, sir?
Yeah. If size of table is being changed, like right now we are seeing 4 people are there. Now, if we want to bring in say 6 people, my source data gets changed. Once again, we have to define the cardinality, or once we have defined and we keep on increasing the size of the table, it will keep on working.
Actually, that's a really good question. Okay, so let me help you with that. Okay, so what you have to do is there is something called as refresh. I will actually help you with that. Okay, so here in Power BI, hope you are able to see my screen. Okay, so here in report, when I click on report, there is an option called as refresh. Can you see this particular part, guys? Can you see this particular refresh? Okay, what I have to do is, if the data table is changed, so let's assume I'm changing my Excel. Let's assume I'm changing my Excel. In that case, what I will do is, I will say once refresh. That's it. Everything will be changed. There is no relationship that I have to. I mean, extremely sorry. There is no extra thing that is actually required from my end. Okay, everything will be done automatically. Okay, clean and clear, sir.
Show through an example, like here 4 cases.
No worries, sir. I will do that. No worries, it's my job. I will do that. Okay.
Thanks.
Because we will be doing it.
Just one.
I'll be on mute for a minute. You can go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying is, lovely. My Excel is on my desktop. Okay, and data is changing there. But before changing data, I uploaded those Excel file to Power BI. But after uploading, I'm changing my Excel file on my desktop. So with refresh, data will be captured the new one which I changed later on, or it will
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The updated data will come.
updated data will come.
Let me do something for you. Okay, sir. Now what I'm going to do is I have something called as first class, second day, and all these classes, right? So I will click on another class now. Oh, no, I cannot use this thing because it has been entered, because manually entered data, right? So
Yeah.
we have something called as people table. Hope you remember. That is an Excel file, right? Hope you remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is here in data set, here in this thing people table, what I will do is I will do a little change. So I will add my name. I will add my name. Okay, I will say Sangamesh Sangamesh. Okay, then what I will do is I will say which region? Okay.
North.
I will say last Alaska. Okay, or else something like Northwest.
Not replace it with some of the name.
I can also do that. No worries. I can also do that. Like Anna. I'm just going to change this name Anna to Sangamesh KS. Okay, and I will change Maggie's name to Vijay. Then what I will do is I will change another name Rathod. Then Ashwini. Something like this.
Add one more name and region as well.
No, I will not do it right now. Because there is another thing that I want to show you. Okay, I'm just going to save this. Okay, now the data has been changed. Okay, and it has also been this thing. So now you are able to see this particular table. Agree? So now I'm going to say refresh. So now this table, okay, that is Anna and all these things will get changed within a fraction of a second. Just be with me. I hope I have answered Vijay's question, isn't it? Okay, so now let's do different thing. Now someone was actually saying, hey Sangamesh, add another name. Okay, I will add because that is a part of the learning process right now, because there are various types of cardinalities. Okay, so I have taught you something called as one-to-many relationship. Okay, there are various other relationships as well. I want to explain that, but before going into very complex situation, I just want to help you with tiny things, very easy things. Okay, are you clear with this particular part, sir?
Yeah.
Clear, right? No questions, right? The audio was not clear, sir. Extremely sorry. Okay, no worries. Okay, I got the answer. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so most of the people have done their task. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 replies out of 12 people. Okay, so try to be really interactive, guys. Okay, it's a small request, because if you are interactive, I will come to know, okay, these people have done it correctly. Okay, these people are finding it trouble or something like that. So that's the reason. Okay, it's a small request. So now we have changed the names, okay, as per our comfortability. And now if you're able to see, there was something called as the star and there was something called as 1. Agree with me? And most of the people might be thinking, why Sangamesh is providing so much of emphasis? Why Sangamesh is providing so much of emphasis on this star and this 1? What is there? What is wrong with this? Why I'm actually having a star here? Why I'm actually having a 1 here? Okay, these might be the questions which might be running in your mind. Agree? So this is the crux of the relationship. I repeat again, this is the crux of the relationship. This is called as cardinality or relationship. So there are majorly 3 types of cardinality. Let me share my PPT. Okay, so this is the type of one of the example how you can actually create the relationship. Okay, so this is how it is actually going to look without a relationship. Okay, certain all these things. Okay, so here if you are actually going to have what I can say cardinality, there are various types of cardinality. Okay. One of them is something called as one-to-many relationship. I repeat again, one-to-many relationship. Okay. So which actually looks like this: one to many. Whenever you see the star, it is many. Okay. Whenever you see this one, it is one. Please keep this in your mind. Whenever you see one here, okay, I will share this because this is very, very important. Okay. Whenever you see this one, which basically means one. Whenever you see this many, which basically means many. Okay. Okay. Got it? What I'm saying. So now what I'm going to do is, now let me create different type of relationship. Now let me create different type of relationship. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is, I will create another table. So this is called as success ratio. Let's say this is called as success ratio. Similarly, I have something called as failure ratio. Let's see, I'm just giving you a small idea here. Okay, I'm actually having something called as failure ratio, FAIL. Okay, fail ratio. Let me say fail ratio. Okay. Okay, so this fail ratio is having, okay, 50%. Let me say -1 is equal to -1, something like this. Okay, is equal to -1, something like this, -1. Okay, is equal to -1. Okay, this is not in positive value, right? So let me put 1 here, 1 minus. No. Okay, something like this. Okay, now it is a positive value. I will also do the same. 1 minus. I will also do the same. 1 minus 6. Okay, so I will do the same thing out here as well. Is equal to 1 minus. Okay, so now I have something called as fail ratio. Okay, which is going to provide me the failure ratio. Okay, so hope you remember, guys. Hope you remember. Okay, when I see about order table, when I see this order table, okay, so if I see this shipping mode, okay, if you see this in a very closed aspect, I mean very keen, you'll be able to see standard class, standard class, standard class, standard class, standard class, standard class, okay, and second class, first class, standard, so and so, which basically mean standard class, second class, first class, same day, all of them are repeating again and again. I repeat again. These are repeating again and again. So this is called as, I repeat again, this is called as many. This is called as many. Similarly, what type of relationship this may have, because this is one and this, give a try. If it is going to be wrong, no worries, give a try. What type of relationship, because this is table number 1, this is success ratio.
1 to 1 and 1 to many.
Sorry, sir.
This will become 1 to 1.
Good. It is going to be 1 to 1. Logically, it is correct. Okay. So now, if I'm going to create any relationship between these two tables, it is going to be 1 to 1. Okay. So now let me create a 1 to 1 table. So what I will do is I will go here. I will say enter data. I will say enter data. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste this information out here like this. Then I'm going to call this as fail table, FAIL table. Okay, something like this. I will say, okay. So if I'm going to see this particular table now, okay, that is the model data model table. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so now there has been an automatic relationship. Can you see that? There has been an automatic relationship, okay, between this table and this table. I haven't done anything. I didn't drag and drop it. It was able to automatically relate itself because the column names were same. Because the column names were same. Okay. Hope you are able to get it. Hope you are able to get it. Any questions, guys? Any questions?
Can you re-show it once again?
No worries, sir. No worries.
Hmm.
Okay. So what I have done is I have something called as. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. Actually, why I was asking is, here we are having a same size of table. Row and columns are same. Suppose we make it a minor change. Column remains the same, but the table size of the different table is a different. Then also whether it will work, but or
we will work on that. We will work on that. Okay. So right now we have a table and we also have another table. So this is a success ratio. This is failure ratio, something like this. Okay. We have created this hypothetical table, these two tables. Okay. And what I have done is I have gone here. Okay. Enter data. Okay. And have just pasted the table. Okay. I have just pasted the table and I told, okay, as soon as I did it, okay, there was an automatic relationship between these two tables which got created. And now I am able to determine this is as a one-to-one relationship table. How do I determine? How do I say this is a one-to-one relationship? Because I'm able to see 1 and 1 here. Previously, it was this is called as many. This is called as 1. Okay, this is called as 1. This is called as many. Okay, this is called as 1. Hope you are clear on this particular part, guys. Okay, so now we have understood two types of relationship. One is called as, okay, one to many. Second is called as one to one. Third type of relationship, if you are going to have this, okay, many, here also many, okay, here also many. If you have these kind of relationship, it is called as many to many relationship. Hope you are able to get it. If you are able to see these star icon here, and as well as if you are able to see a star icon here as well, it is called as many to many relationship. Any questions here, guys? Any questions here? Because these are the very important topics. Okay, if you go wrong, all of the tables will go wrong. That's the reason. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Can
you repeat?
No, sir. It's absolutely fine. I can do that. Okay. So here, whenever I'm able to see a star, okay, this is called as many. M-A-N-Y. Many. Extremely sorry. This now many. Similarly, whenever I see these things, okay, let me color code it in a different way. Undo it. Let me color code it in a different way. I will code green color. This is called as 1. Okay, 1. All of them are called as 1. Okay, so now you have learned, okay, one to many relationship, one to one relationship. Okay, so this is called as, oh sorry, extremely sorry. This type of relationship is called as one to many. Okay, one to many relationship. Similarly, this is actually called as one to one relationship. 1 to 1. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Kim Charan, right? Vijay, clear.
Sangamesh sir, can you give one example of many to many relationship?
वो करेंगे. It is in pipeline. No worries. It is in pipeline. Okay.
Sir, one
Okay.
question.
Okay.
If you make relationship between another column, then it shows the star, okay, which you says that it's a many relation.
Can you show that for me? I can comment on it better because I'm not able to visualize it mentally.
Okay, just.
Sure, sir. I'm able to see your screen. One-to-one, one-to-many. So you have only two types of relationship, right? One-to-one and one-to-many.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one, which I have initiated first relationship, that shows this star mark, that is many relation.
Yeah.
If I continue this first relationship with another, then it shows one-to-one relationship.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Okay.
Sangamesh, Sanjay here.
Yes, sir.
Sangamesh, just see whatever relationship what we are seeing here, like multiple to one, multiple one to one, multiple to multiple. These are all by default is coming, or these are all the relations which we have created?
So these are the relationship which Power BI was able to detect.
Okay.
Some of the relationship we are creating. Okay, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes when the column names are different, Power BI tend to find difficulty understanding these two columns. Okay, the relationship between the two columns, even though the values inside the column, okay, might be same. If the column name is different, okay, it can find difficulty. Hope you're able to get it.
And same one and the vice versa also.
Yes,
like
sir.
If the column name is same in both the table, but data is completely different. Like for example, like in one table we have date.
That's a good question. Really good question. If the data levels are different, then there won't be any relationship that can be created. Okay, so it can be jeopardized. So I haven't come across that, being very frank, but I'm just giving you a small idea here. Okay.
It shows the relationship, right? But if the column name is the same.
Yes. Yes, that's absolutely fine. I just want to hold Vijay here. Vijay, can I take a small opportunity to explain another thing here?
Yes.
Okay. So Vijay and everyone, okay, I think Akash is able to share his screen. No worries. Hey, no. I want you to share your Power BI dashboard. Okay, so no worries. So guys, I don't know whether you are able to see it or not. Oh my God, I'm not able to take. Okay, no worries. So there is a relationship between people table and fail table. Can you see that? There is a relationship between people table and fail table. Can you see people table and fail table? Okay. So here, can you take your mouse a little bit away, sir? Okay. Wonderful. So there is something called as dotted line. Can you see that? So there are two types of lines. One type of line is a black line. Second type of line is actually called as a dotted line. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you hover on that dotted line, sir, again for me? Okay, wonderful. So what the candidate has done now here is he tried to create a relationship between region and person. Okay, there was a relationship which was been created, which was been successfully created, but don't have an active relationship, which basically mean that the values which are in region and the values which are in person, these two names are actually not matching. So that's the reason you have this dotted line. So here I think someone had actually asked me if column names are same, but the values inside it are not going to be this thing. So my answer is the same thing which actually happened here. So an inactive, I repeat again, an inactive relationship will be created, and an inactive, there will be a relationship that will be created, but it will be inactive. So what is meant by inactive and active now? So inactive means So if you are going to apply any kind of filter, any kind of slicer, okay, you will be able to you will be able to find it only when you have an active relationship. If there is any slicer or something like that, okay, in inactive relationship, it won't work. It is very, very similar. If you have this dotted line, it is very, very similar. Having it or removing it doesn't require any kind of this thing. So if you have it, it's okay. If you remove it, it's also okay. So it is not a relationship, being very frank with you. In a simple way, I'm saying that these two are actually not relationship itself. Okay. Hope you are able to understand it. Okay. Clean and clear. So, okay. Clean and clear. Any questions?
Yes, no issue.
Sanmesh, just a
Yes.
small. So here also, like in both the tables, like people and fail,
Mhm.
the two columns are common, like people and region, people. Why still it is showing only one relationship? Why it is not showing star mark kind of thing?
We will come to that. I will explain it right now within 5 minutes. Okay. Can you stop sharing your screen, sir, please? I will explain that. So any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I assume there is no questions. So now what I will do is I will create another relationship now. Now I will create another relationship. For this, what I will do is I won't use this thing, what I can say, shipping mode. Okay, I won't use shipping mode. Okay, or even this as well. Even this as well. I'm just going to delete all of them. Now I want to create a new table. Okay, like I will create date, okay, segment and sales. Okay, so here I have some dates like 1/1/2022, okay, and let me say it's the same thing, segment SEG. Let me say segment corporate. Okay, I will copy this. Okay, I will paste it out here again, something like this. I have a data something like this, sir. Okay, I have a data something like this, corporate. Here I will call not corporate, I will call it as small business, SMAL, small this. Okay, something like this. Okay, I have something like this. Okay, I have something like this, and I have some sales like 1, 2. Okay, I have some sales like this. What I'm actually having, I have something called as corporate, I have something called as biz. Okay, and I have sales value as well. Similarly, I have another thing. Okay, I have another thing. Okay, which is actually having the same information. Inside this, I have profit. Instead of this, instead of sales, I have profit. So now, if you want to create a relationship between these two tables, I repeat again, if you want to create a relationship between these two tables, then I repeat it again, then it will be called as many-to-many relationship. How? Let me create these two tables first. Okay, I'm just going to say enter data. So I will call this as table 1, table 2, something like that. Okay, I'm just going to paste the table out here and I will call this as table 1, something like this. Okay, and similarly, I will copy this particular table. Okay, something like this. And okay, okay. Oh, sorry, why did I click transform data? Just give me a minute. Okay, I will say enter data. Nichda. Okay. Okay. So I have another table. Okay. Now I will paste this information here and I will call this as table 2. So if you are able to see these two tables in a very deeper manner, okay, if you are able to see these two tables in a deeper manner, okay, okay, where is this table 1 and table 2? Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, so it has date, okay, it has date, it has segment, it has segment. Here you have sales information, here you have profit information. Agree with me? So if I'm going to connect sales with sales, if I connect sales with sales, there is a pop-up which is actually coming. There is a pop-up which is actually coming and which is actually saying something like this: cardinality many to many. So if I want to change the cardinality and all, I also have an option. I can just click on this. I have many to one. I have 1 to 1. I have 1 to many. Okay, 1 to many. And now I have many to many. So right now it is automatically able to say that this relationship has cardinality many to many. This should be used if this is, so basically it's giving you a warning in a simple way. Okay. So now I can say okay. Okay. So if I'm going to say okay, okay. So there is something like this. There is something like this, which actually has a star here, which also has a star here as well, which has a star here and which also has a star here as well. Okay. So what will actually happen here is when you have these type of relationship, then okay, it is many to many relationship. And in Power BI, there are two types of relationship which can actually cause a problem. There are two types of relationship which can actually cause a problem. Number one, a many to many relationship is one such information, one such thing which can actually cause a problem. Number one. Second is one to one relationship which can also cause a little bit of problem. So in a simple way, we always ask you to create these type of relationship, that is one to many or many to one, something like that. Okay, so this is a desirable, okay, what I can say, this is the desirable relationship if you are actually working with Power BI. So whenever you see this, okay, there is an extra caution and data treatment that you have to do. Okay, clean and clear? Clean and clear? Any questions here, guys? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Vijay, Ashwini, Khemanda, Sanjay Goel, Akash, Nitin.
This many to many, that means what type of treatment we have to cautious?
Good question. Good question. I will answer that, but not right now. Okay. Any other, I mean, any questions related to this? Any other questions related to this? I will explain that particular thing. Okay, Mandas. Apart from this, any questions? Apart from this? No? Clean and clear? Clean and clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now what I want is, can you create tables which is actually having one to one and many to many relationship? Okay, I will give you exactly 5 minutes of time to complete this. Okay, after that I will answer Kemandas this thing, what I can say, answer. Okay, because I have it ready-made dashboard wherein I have actually used it. I just need to have a check on it. Okay, that's the reason. I'm just yes.
You just made the relationship between the new table you made, and that segment to segment relationship you made, right?
Yes, sir.
And in that it shows the multiple relationship, right?
Many to many relationship. You are absolutely right. Many to many.
So what makes the many to many relationship and what makes the one to one relationship?
What makes the many to many relationship and what makes the one to one relationship?
Because
So
selecting segment to segment, I think so that should be one to one.
no. I will correct here, Vijay. Okay, let me say and annotate. I will say clear all and I will remove this. Okay. So you have to understand the table structure. Vijay, try to provide a really good eye on table here. Okay. So if you see people table, okay, so these are unique values. Okay. If you see order table here, region have many. Okay. So that's the reason many to one. Agree. So if you say success, so you have something called a success, okay, which is having like this. And even though if you see failure, it is also having the same thing, but here instead of success ratio, it is having failure ratio, something like that. So which is also unique. There also you have unique. That's the reason you have one-to-one relationship. Okay. But if you see this table, here table 1, I'm using segment. In table 2, I'm using segment. But if you see the data inside this column segment, corporate, small business, corporate, small business, which basically means it is repeating again and again, which basically mean it is repeating again and again. Are you clear with this particular part? Are you clear with this particular part?
Yes.
Okay, that's the reason whenever you speak about table 1 and table 2, as there are many variables here, and here also you have many variables, that's the reason many to many relationship. Okay. Here you have one to one because 2 unique tables. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, so now I will give you a couple of what I can say, tips and hacks that you can actually use.
Just one more question related to it. It's good from knowledge point of view that, okay, there is a one-to-one relationship or many to many. But as a layman user, if I'm using it, how does it make a difference in my life? It doesn't make any change for me whether it's creating a one-to-one relationship or many to many. Or
I completely understand that. I will come to that particular part. Okay, give me some time. Okay. I will explain your answer. Give me some time.
Sure.
Okay, clear, right? Till now you are clear, right? Okay. So now I assume that people have also done this particular thing and we're being able to create relationship, isn't it? Agree? Are you done? If you need some time, I can also provide you something like 5 minutes more. Okay. If you are done, everything is fine, Sangmesh, then what we can actually do is we can go ahead. Okay. Clean and clear, guys. Clean and clear. Clean and clear. I got only one response here. Cleared. Done. Okay, that's fine. Okay, done. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, try to be a little bit interactive, guys. Okay, so here now we will get into the crux of the issue. Now we will come to the crux of the issue. Okay, number one, if I'm going to create a table, let's assume I'm just going to create a table like this. Okay, one table wherein I'm going to use segment information. Okay, and adding to that, I'm also going to use a sales information. Okay, similarly, I am also going to use another table. I'm going to use another table, okay, which is going to have what I can say, segment and this information, profit information. Segment and profit information. Segment and profit information. So here you might be thinking, hey, Sangmesh, this thing, what I can say, these two things are really fine because all of them values are also same. And I assume there is no issue. Sangmesh was unnecessarily making everyone panic, saying that there is many to many relationship and people need to avoid many to many relationship all the time. So, but when I see this table, okay, everything looks fine, isn't it? Everything looks fine. If I'm going to even click on this, things are also fine itself. Okay. Then what is the issue? Why we have to actually avoid it? Okay. The reason is, for example, I will just use a small example here. Okay. Right now, if I'm going to click on this, okay, this is good. Here also I'm able to see 66. Here also I'm able to see 66. If I'm going to click on small business, here I am able to see 187. Here also I am able to see 187, which is also good. But what I can actually do is, okay, I'm just going to create another, this thing, what I can say, matrix. Okay, I'm just going to create another matrix, and here I will put this date. Oh, what happened? Oh my God, I have it. Here I will just going to put this date. Okay, I have Q1, Q2, and all these information. So here, if I'm going to click on January, what is actually happening? This value got vanished. This value also got vanished. Can you see that? Pehla kaisa tha? How was the previous table? If I was able to click on this, it was active. Okay, if I'm going to click on this, it was also active. But if I see, I'm not taking this date column from alien table. I'm taking it from table 1 itself. Okay, but if I'm going to click on this February, okay, both the values are not actually showcasing. This issue is because of cardinality. Okay, as there is many to many relationship. Okay, so that is one reason it is always advised. Okay, whenever you have many to many relationship, you always need to avoid those this thing, what I can say, relationship. Okay, let me see. I have created this particular dashboard. Let me have a quick check where I have the dashboard, because one of my US client, okay, he came to me with a problem. Okay, with a problem, saying that, hey Sangmesh, we have one dashboard. Okay, let me see drive. Okay, but the values are completely not matching. Okay, drive.google.com. Okay, Gulati, yes, the Gulati. Okay, Vivek Gulati, yes. Okay, so he came to me, he told me, hey Sangmesh, we have two tables which is actually having many to many relationship, and due to which whenever I am going to see the dashboard or apply any kind of slicers or something like that, the whole table is actually not working really well. It is basically providing some issue. So this was the pinpoint question which actually came from our client's end. Okay, so in that case, what we did is we try to understand what is the model, how the model has been constructed, how the dashboard is, okay, and all these things. Then we were able to identify there is a many to many relationship between these columns. Okay, one column and another column. Okay, because I won't be able to implement it, I'm extremely sorry, but I will showcase you how you are going to resolve this kind of issues if it is going to be in your company. Okay, so this is a very complex DAX function, being very frank with you. So, but I will just try to break it down in a very simplest way possible. Okay, so here there was two this thing, what I can say, tables. Okay, table number 1 and table number 2. Oh, extremely sorry. What I will do is I will open the older version, I assume so. I will open the older version, manage versions. Okay, this is the version, old version. Okay. Give me some time. I will showcase the older version as well. So, okay, so there were two tables, and these two tables were actually having many-to-many relationship. Then in that case, whenever you have a many-to-many relationship issue, so we tend to create something called as key table or a bridge table. So people who are from database background, okay, in SQL servers, we tend to create these types of bridge tables, okay, whenever we are facing these kind of issues. So the same logic is been applied here as well in Power BI. Okay, so we create something called as key table or bridge table, something like this, okay, and create relationship. Okay, so just give me a minute. Oh, not here, just give me a minute. Here. See here, something like this. Okay, so there was phishing data set, there was employee data set, phishing data set, employee data set, okay, and new phishing data set. Okay, so all these three tables, okay, were really well, but whenever I see about phishing data this and phishing data this, okay, they were actually having many-to-many relationship. They were actually having many-to-many relationship. Okay, so in that case, what we have done is we have created something called as key table. We have created something called as key table, and we tried to create a kind of bridge between phishing table and employee table. Okay, phishing table and employee table. Here in this bridge table, what we did is, okay, so for example, if you want to put any kind of slicers or something like that, okay, so all this information need to come from this bridge table itself. All this information need to come from this bridge table. So there is a structured approach. To handle this many-to-many relationship, to handle this many-to-many relationship. So one of it is to use these kind of bridge tables called as key tables, bridge tables or else key tables. It can be called as bridge tables or else key tables. So first you have to create this kind of, key table. Then you have to create relationship. Okay. So in a simple way, how I constructed this particular, key table. Okay. If you see this, okay, I have something called as departmental code. Okay, let me go here itself. So if I go to key, I have something called as email. So for this email, okay, I have created this table. How I have created this table? Okay, I have taken the distinct of the email ID. So I created this particular column. Okay, based on this particular column, I created all these departmental codes, like, persons table, department code, this thing, because all of these columns need to be used in slicers here. Okay, see here, person name, email is also coming from key. If you see geography, country, region, all of them are coming from this thing itself. Okay, this key table itself. If you see L6 department, it is also coming from this key table itself. If I say department code as well, department code is also coming from this key table. So how to resolve it? In a simple way, you have to connect all of them. You have to connect all the tables, okay, using a bridge table like this, which is going to have, I repeat again, which is going to have the unique value of this, the unique value of this, and the unique value of this. So in a simple way, so if you are going to ask me, Sangamesh, you have answered this really well. But how do I implement for this particular table? If I want to implement this, how do I implement for this particular table? So I have to create a table here. Okay, which is going to have, okay, the unique values of date and segment, okay, as a key. Okay, and you are going to create the linkage between these two keys. Okay, and by doing that, you will be able to create a better cardinality. And there won't be any kind of issue with many-to-many relationship. Hope you are clear on this particular part. It was a very lengthy conversation, but I assume that I have answered your question really well. So if you feel that you need repetition or revision or some better example, I'm there to help you out as well.
Can you do this for table 1 and table 2? What table we have created right
I can actually do that, but right now it is what I can say, 3:30. Okay. So if I try to do it, it will take another 30 minutes or so. Okay. So this is going to be in your assignment. Okay, do it. Give a try. Or if you fail to do it, then in our next session, I'm going to do it for this particular table. I will choose the same table. Okay. The logic is same. The logic is same. You are just going to take a unique of it. Okay, and then you are going to connect these two tables.
That programming is also should require that tree
yes,
and
sir.
all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the reason.
Okay.
That's the reason. You need a good hands-on DAX that we will be covered.
But I think we are not IT people, so it will
So
be
no
very
worries,
difficult.
no worries. We will be teaching DAX as well in next 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is all about the cardinality. This is all about the cardinality. Now there is something which is very, very essential. I don't know how many of you have actually observed. Actually, I was actually expecting these questions from you guys. So no one had actually asked me a question on this particular part. What is this? What is this particular thing? What is the meaning of this particular sign? Okay, no one had actually asked me, but let me explain you this, sir. This is called as direction. This is called as direction. So which basically mean I can apply a filter. I can apply a filter, F-I-L-T-E-R, filter on this particular table. I repeat again, I can apply a filter on this particular table. The filter will be applied on this table. The filter will be applied on this particular table. But if I'm going to apply a filter on this particular table, the table, this won't get any effect. Okay, which basically means this filter won't be applied on this particular table. This filter won't get applied on this particular table. That is called as cross filter. This is actually called as cross filter. Okay, which basically mean if this is in this direction, let me clear all of them. If the direction is in this particular direction, I can apply filter on this, but that filter will be applied on this particular table. If the direction in this particular way, and if I'm going to apply a filter on this particular table, okay, the filter on this particular table won't get applied. Hope you are clear on this particular part. So this is called as cross filter. This is called as cross filter. So you have an option. Okay, like let me do it. Okay, so I have order table and I also have people table. So if I go here, okay, let me delete all of them, unnecessary things. Okay, I'm just going to delete all of them. Okay, I have people and I have profit. Okay, from where these information are coming from? One is coming from people table, one is coming from order table. How many of you agree? All of you agree. Okay, so now if I'm going to say filter, okay, if a small thing like matrix, something like this, and here I'm just going to put segment information, like segment information out here. So there are three types of segment information. There are three types of segments. One is called as customer segment, okay, one is called as corporate segment, and one is called as home segment. Okay, so all these three segments, are actually being seen with a relationship. Okay, with a relationship. But okay, many times the values which are actually seen here, the values which are actually changing here like this, okay, these are not the accurate values. Okay. As there is a relationship, something like this, okay, the values won't be clear. Okay. So to have a cross filter, so if I'm going to apply any filter on this, all the filters will be also applied on this. There is an option for which I have to create. Okay, go here, right click my table, say properties. Right click my table and say properties. Here, there is something called a single filter and both filter. Okay, single filter and both filter. If I'm going to select both, and say apply, the symbol of this particular table will get changed to this particular thing, like this. See here, like this. This is called as both direction or cross filter, or also called as cross filter, which basically means if I'm going to apply any filter on this, it will be applied on this. If I'm going to apply any filter on this, it will be applied on this in a simple way. And whenever you are building any what I can say, table or something like that, it is always desired. For example, if there is lot of transactions from here, this table, that table, and all these things, so it is always desired to have a both direction filter instead of single direction filter. Okay, so if you have single direction filter, many a times, okay, these values which are actually going to be available there, it won't be accurate. That's the reason. Okay, hope you are clear on this particular part. Any questions?
Hello.
Yes, Vijay.
Sangamesh, as you said that this relationship, both way relationship. So if we see in Power BI, whenever we click on any of the date, or we can say any of the example, so the values get changes. Okay. So this values changes on this relationship basis.
Yes, sir. 100%.
Okay. So that's why this relation is must required.
Yes, sir. And I want to give you a small tip here, sir. So when we build a dashboard, okay, so we do testing. So there are 3 phases in dashboard development. One is called as production development, this thing, what I can say, stage. Second is testing stage, and third stage is production stage. Okay. So as soon as we create dashboard, we do this validation. Okay. Whenever we do this validation, and if we find that values are not matching, then the first thing what we do is we check this particular this thing, what I can say, relationship. We will check the DAX, we check the calculations, how we have done that, and from which specific column it is coming, and all these things. And along with that, we also check this cardinality as well. It is very, very important. Okay.
So there is one side is required. That should be as per our requirement.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, that's wonderful. So what we will do is we will take exactly 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break. 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break.
10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Okay, no worries. So we will take a 10 minutes break. Okay, 10 minutes timer, and catch after 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, hi, hello, everyone. Just give me a confirmation if you're back.
Yes.
That's wonderful, James. That's wonderful, guys. I think, I don't know, who is it? That's absolutely fine. Okay, how about others? How about others? How about Akash, Amit Kumar, Ashwini, Rathod, Hemandas, Nitin, Praveen, Ravindra, Sanjay, Suneet, Vijay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so in our previous class, okay, we had learned on one of the most important topic called as cardinality. Okay, and we had also understood what are the various types of cardinality which is also available, isn't it? So in this section, okay, the next section, we will be understanding something called as DAX, which is also called as data analysis expression. So you might be, saying, hey, Sangmesh, you taught me something called as Power Query. You taught me something called as Power Query. There I'm doing all the data analysis, right? I mean, like, how to prepare the data, how to do all these things. Then why I actually require this DAX? So that might be question, that might be one question which might be tickling your mind. Okay. So in this section, what we are going to do is we will be trying to understand what is this data analysis expression and how it is going to provide a value addition to our Power BI. Okay. So when we speak about data, okay, because I'm not doing any kind of visualization as of now, because the visualization session will start from tomorrow. Okay. Till now, I'm not doing any kind of visualization. Okay. Or nor I'm teaching you any visualization as well. The reason is because we always need to get our data right. So if our data is going to be right, our visualization is going to be right. Okay. So how do you prepare your data? Number one, using Power Query. Number two, using cardinality. Number three is using data analysis expression, which is also called as DAX. So from now, we will be trying to understand how to code using DAX. So I hope many of you might be knowing Excel functions, isn't it? Like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, sum function, average function, and all these things. Okay. So if you have any of this understanding, if you have applied any one, okay, any one of the Excel function, okay, say I on the chat. Okay. If you have not applied any kind of function, you don't even know what sum function in Excel will do. Okay. In that case, you can type no on the chat. I'll be waiting for your response. I'll be waiting for your response. Keman Das, is he saying yes? Maybe he might be using Power BI. So I think there is a little bit of drop in the strength. I think previously we had something like 12 people, 12 to 13 people, but right now I'm able to see only 9 candidates. Can you just confirm me, do I need to proceed? Can anyone confirm me, do I need to proceed? Because I'm able to see 9 candidates out of 13. I mean, out of 12, extremely sorry.
So Nitin is not there, Akash.
Hello.
Yes.
Nitin is not there.
Some emergency call is there for 2 people. So
okay, no worries. No
we
worries.
will continue.
They will be having this recording as well. So
Yeah.
no need to worry about that. Okay. So, okay, that's fine. So, so I'm getting 3 response. Okay. I'm getting 3 response. Do we have any one candidate who have never used, what I can say, Excel in his life? Okay. Excel functions like sum function, average function, mean function, min function, max function, any function. out in Excel? No one, right? No one, right?
I think no one. All have used that.
Excel knowledge, right? So if you know Excel, okay, functions, then you know DAX. There is no additional training which is actually required, being very frank with you. But yet I will give you a complete overview on DAX. Okay, and what is DAX, when to use DAX, why to use DAX, and all these things. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead with the introduction to DAX. Okay, so when we speak about DAX, as I have told you previously, DAX is one of the one of the data analysis expression, which basically means it has couple of functions. Like in Excel, we have some function, right? Like min, max, average, and all these things. Same functions are actually available in Power BI. Okay, in DAX. Okay, so adding to that, so what we can actually do is we can actually combine all of them. We can use these formulas and expressions in Power BI to analyze the data, okay, and in the models which are actually available here. Okay, this is a very simple basic what I can say reason why we actually use DAX. Okay, how DAX works and everything. DAX actually requires data in two things, whether it need to be a column, whether it can be a table. I repeat again, whether it can be a column or whether it can be a table, we can actually use this particular DAX, in our Power BI. Okay, so in a simple way, I'm just going to explain where we can actually use DAX. Okay, so hope you are with me, guys. So here if I'm going to go for just give me a minute, let me clean everything. If you are able to see here, there is an option called as modeling. Can you see that? Modeling. In home, in report, in home, there is something called as modeling. Okay, so here I have something called as, okay, I have something called as new measure, quick measure, new column, and new table. So these are the 4 different ways that I can actually use a DAX function. Okay, so I can create something called as measure, I can create something called as new column, and I can also create something called as new table, where I can actually use DAX to do the calculation. Number one. Okay, this is one of the use of the DAX. Okay, new measure, new column, or new table. I can create a measure, column, table. Clear? Any questions here? I can create 3 things. Ravindra? No worries, I have muted Ravindra.
Sorry.
It's absolutely fine. Ho jata hai. Okay, so what I was actually saying is new measure, okay, new column, and new table. Okay, so these are the 3 methods we can actually use DAX. I will be teaching each and every one how to use it. Okay, adding to that, okay, we also have something called as quick measure. Okay, so I will be explaining this. Quick measure is all about some what I can say zero coding knowledge. People who have zero coding knowledge, they can actually use something called as quick measure to take little bit of insights, or to analyze, or to use ready-made DAX functions. So there are ready-made scripts which are actually available inside DAX. Like if I want to see the year-on-year difference, like if I'm going to say I want to see year-on-year date, okay, year-end date. Okay, so here if I have a column called as date, okay, if I want to see sales, okay, based on the column date, something like this. Okay, so I can just say okay, there will be a DAX that will be created. On its own. Okay, see here we have something called a sales YTD, which basically means it will provide you the sales difference Okay, so it will provide you the sales difference. You can see that. So it has been automatically created. It is not created. It is not been created by me. I haven't written one single line of code. Okay, it has been done completely on its own. So this is called as quick measure. Okay, so here in this quick measure, it is actually using something called as DAX. Okay, it is using something called as DAX. Yes, Ashwini, how can I help you?
Can you repeat, please, about the modeling and from the major
Quick
one?
measure, quick measure. Yes. Okay, no worries. So quick measures are those set of, what I can say, technique wherein you can actually create ready-made things. Like if I want to create year on year different sales, or else if I want to put any kind of filter on any specific value. For example, I have the sales, right? I have the sales. On sales, I want to put one filter, like in subcategories. I want to put a filter. Okay, in that case, I can actually put all these kind of what I can say things, and I can actually create what I can say quick DAX which can be available. Okay, so this is what quick measure is capable enough. I can actually filter data. I can actually create quarter on quarter, year on year difference, year over year difference, quarter on quarter difference, month over month difference, rolling average. Okay, totals. Okay, so all these things are actually possible in this particular this thing, what I can say, DAX. Okay, DAX is all about, so quick measure is all about creating DAX automatically without any human interface. Okay, something like this. Hope you're able to get it. Okay, so hope you're able to get it. Okay, so now as you have understood what is meant by this quick measure, there are also couple of techniques which are also can be used, okay, in Power BI, which is actually called as roles. There is something called as roles, which also incorporate DAX to create something called as row level security. What is meant by row level security? People who are well versed with database, like SQL warehouse and all. In SQL warehouse, we use something called as OLS. Okay, it's row level security which can be actually incorporated. What really happens here is let's assume you have North Indian salesman, South India salesman, West India, East India, something like this. Okay, you have 4 different salesmen who are actually representing 4 different regions in India. All these 4 people need to have their region's information itself, which basically means if I am going to give this particular dashboard, give the sales dashboard to the manager who is in South India, he need to see only South India's data. He must not see West India's data, North India's data, and all these things. So you can actually put a layer of security. By which you can do all these things. Okay, so for that row level security, you can actually use okay, I have muted him again, no worries. Okay, so for that particular thing, we also use row level security. For that, we need DAX. Okay, so DAX is used for measures, it is used for columns, it is used for tables, and adding to that, it is also used for row level securities, and adding to that, it is also used to create quick measures. Okay, so these are the major applications of DAX. Okay, so now what I'm actually going to do is, what I'm going to do now is I will delete all of them. And let me help you with the creation of DAX. Okay, so now I don't have anything. Okay, so now what I can actually do is the same thing. Okay, same route. Okay, but different destination. Okay, I mean same different routes for the same destination. I'm extremely sorry. Different routes for the same destination, which basically means if I want to create any DAX measure, quick measure, or new table, I can actually use these information which is actually available in model, or else I can actually go to home. Here also I have new measure and all these information, or else I can click these three dots. Can you see that? I can click these three dots. Okay. And I can create, okay, new measure, new column, and quick measure as well. Okay. Different routes for the same destination. So let me start with something called as measure. Let me start with something called as measure. So here what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to create something called as measure, new measure. Okay. So as soon as I say new measure, there is a tab that will actually open like this. Can you see that? A tab which will actually open like this. Okay. Here I can do all the activities. Here I can do all the activities. Okay. Like I want to create something called as total sales. Okay. Total sales. So what I can do is first I will write total sales. Then I will say is equal to total sales is equal to. Okay. So what is total sales? Total sales is the name of the variable. Then is equal to. Then what I'm going to do is there are lots of functions. There are lots of DAX functions. One of the function is called a sum. Okay, sum. This is the sum. Okay, this is the sum. Inside this sum, what I have to provide? I have to provide a column. Okay, I have something called as sales here. What I can actually do is I can say sales, S-A-L-E-S. As soon as I write sales, I have various options here. Okay, so I have a table called as table 1. I have a table called as order 2017. I have two tables, table number 1 and order 2017, which contains the column sales. Okay, what I have to do is I have to select any of that. Okay, then I have to close the bracket and I have to say enter. Then I have to say enter. Okay, so now I have created something called as total sales. Can you see that? Now I have created something called as total sales, which is out here. And if you see it very, very clearly, there is a calculator symbol. Can you see that? There is a calculator symbol. This is the information that is saying the variable which is out there, which is called as total sales, it is a measure. Point number 1. Okay, which is having a calculator symbol. Point number 1. Point number 2. We have something called as total sales. And if I create, please be with me, guys. Please be with me. Okay, if I'm going to click on data table, okay, I won't be able to see this column called as total sales. Agree with me. I won't be able to see this column called as total sales. Okay, no worries. I'm not able to see it out here. Maybe I may see this in Power Query. You may have that thought. No, sir. If you have that particular thought, no. Even though if you open Power Query, okay, you won't be able to find, okay, total sales here as well. Can you see that? You are not going to find total sales here as well. This is one of the identification. I repeat again, this is one of the identification that this is a measure. I repeat again, this is a measure. Okay, this is a measure. So now I want everyone to create sum of profit or else sum of sales on your system. How do you create? Okay, you can click on the table and say new measure. Okay, something like this. There will be a pop-up, what I can say, a bar that will actually open. Here you are going to write total profit. total profit is equal to then what I'm going to say is I'm just going to say sum profit, 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 something like this. I want everyone to create, okay, at least one measure called as total profit or else total sales. Okay, and if you are done, ping me on chat. Okay, if you are done, ping me on chat. There are a couple of things that I need to explain about this measure, but first I will start with baby steps. Himandas is done. How about others? Suneet, Rathod, Sanjay, Praveen, Vijay, Akash, Ashwini, Ravindra. Good, Praveen. How about others?
Sanmesh, I would like to share my screen, please.
Sure, sir.
Just
You can do that.
volunteer me.
Sure. You can do that. I'm there to help you out.
Are you able to see my screen?
No. Yes, I'm able to see your screen now.
Is it visible? No.
Yes, I'm able to see it.
Now is it visible? Okay. So as you said, just click on the profit. I just click on it. Okay. Then going for a measuring, new measure. And just put the value total sale and some more. Some of these profit values.
Agree.
Now after this, I need to enter.
See. Wait. You are saying total sales and you are providing the profit column.
Okay. Sorry.
Can you change it for me?
Give it.
Beautiful.
Now after this.
So now you are done with this particular thing. Okay. So you are done with this. Yes, we will talk on those things as well. Okay. How to use it, how to, what are the advantage, what are the disadvantage and everything. Okay.
How to check this total sale value will be seen in a table or a.
I will help you. I will help you. No worries. I will help you. Okay. Clean and clear, guys. Clean and clear. Okay. Thank you very much. Ashwin. Okay. So share. Okay, no worries. Okay, hope everyone is able to see my screen. So now everyone have actually created a column created a measure called as sales, total sales. Okay, so which is actually having total sales value. Okay, so let me see this thing, what I can say. 4 of the candidates have done. Okay, how about others? Just confirm me on the same. Okay, or else I'm just going to proceed. So that's the reason. Okay, 5 people have responded. No worries. Okay, so what I was actually saying is now you have basically created something called as total profit and total sales. Agree. So if you want to visualize it, okay, what you can do is you can just click on this card, something like this. Okay, we can just click on this card, something like this, and bring this total profit, okay, out here. Okay, I can just grab this, I can put it out here, or else what I can actually do is, okay, I can just click on this like this. Now if I want sales, I can just click on sales as well. So now I can actually visualize this in a form of something called as card. Similarly, I can use it in bar graph, even the same, I can actually use it for, table and all these things. It can be possible. So for example, if I want, a table, something like this, which is going to contain the sales value, and adding to that, I want to see the segment, something like this. I can actually do that particular thing. And I can actually see. I'm not worried about this, and I don't want to even teach this to you. But what I want to say is, I have a column called as sales. I can actually drop this into values as well. It is providing me the same information. So मैंने क्या किया? I took this sales and I just dropped the sales here. Okay, and I took this measure and I also dropped here. Both of them are providing the same information. Then you might be saying, Sangamesh, then why are you teaching this measure here? So this was actually for your practice. Because what really happens is, before going ahead for a most complicated thing, we have to do the very small thing. Okay, do very small petty things. So now what I'm actually going to do is, now let me make this measure a little bit complicated. So now you have sales, now you have profit. Okay, so there is a ratio. I repeat again, there is a ratio called as profit versus sales ratio. How many of you know about it? Profit versus sales ratio. Matlab, in a simple way. Okay, so I am selling product. Oh, extremely sorry. Oh, my nose. Okay, so I will just put my profit as well. Oh, my nose. Okay, so I have total profit, I have total sales as well. Okay, I have total profit and total sales as well. So my total sales is 11,61,400 rupees. My total sales is 11,61,400 rupees. But my profit is 1,34,119. So if I want to earn, okay, 1,34,000, I need to sell 11,61,400 for customer segment. This is something what is being provided with this particular this particular information. So this is called as profit versus sales ratio. This is actually called as profit versus sales ratio. So if I want to create profit versus sales ratio, okay, so it's very, very simple. Okay, you have profit divided by sales in a simple way, profit divided by sales. So if you want to create that, it can be really tedious to do it right here. So for that specific reason, I repeat again, for that specific reason, you have something called as, okay, you have something called as measures, which can actually do that particular activity for you. Hope you are clear why we are actually learning measures. Not only profit versus sales ratio, there are various types of measures, like you want to find the sum, but you want to apply a filter on that sum, something like that. Okay, for all these things, like you want to create something like ratios, you want to create some calculations. Okay, so all these things are being done using these DAX measures. Hope you are able to understand it. Any questions here? We will be doing profit versus sales ratio, but before that, I want to just ask you, are you clear why we are actually going to use measures?
Any relations between the given values if you want to calculate that? For that we have to use measure, right?
Yes sir, you're absolutely right. So now I have something called as total profit. I also have something called as total sales. So as I've told you, what is meant by profit versus sales ratio? Profit versus sales ratio is profit divided by sales. That's it. Ho gaya. Okay, so now what I can actually do is I can create another measure, something like this. Okay, and say, where is this measure? And say Profit, P-R-O-F-I-T, profit versus sales ratio. Okay, I can say this is equal to, here I cannot use divide like this, like total sales, totals, total profit divided by sales. No. Total sales, not like this. Total sales. It is not the desirable. It is not the desirable approach. So here in Power BI, we have something called as divide function. Okay, we have something called as divide function. D-I-V-I-D-E, divide. Okay, I'm just going to use this particular thing. So what is this divide function is saying? So it is providing me saying that, hey, provide me the numerator, then apply a comma, then apply a denominator. So my numerator need to be profit. As I've told you, how do you calculate profit versus sales ratio? That first above need to be profit divided by sales. The same thing I'm actually doing. I'm saying profit, total profit, comma, total sales. Then what I'm actually doing is I'm just going to say enter. I'm just going to say enter, profit versus sales ratio.
What is this
now
alternate result syntax?
Sorry, sir.
This alternate result syntax also there, no? In divide formula.
Yes, there is an alternate this thing as well, but I'm not discussing that particular thing right now. I will speak about the documentation and everything,
Okay.
how to use all of them. But my major concern is how we can actually use this and why we are actually teaching you this particular measure. Okay, so here I can just put this particular profit ratio out in this particular thing. Okay, right, like this. Okay, so now I'm actually having 0.12%, 0.13%, 0.14%, and on an average, it is going to have something like 12%. Okay, as the profit ratio. Okay, 12%. Now you might be saying, Sangamesh, this is not in 12%. So change it into percentage. You can just click on this and click on this here, right, like this. Okay, you can click on this and you click on this. Now this will be in percentage. Can you see that? 11.55%, 13.03%. So now you might be saying, hey, Sangamesh, I'm not interested in all this decimal value. Can you remove this decimal value? Sure, we can do that. How do you do that? So here you have this 2. I can just convert it to 0. Ho gaya. Very easy. Okay. So now you might be saying, Sangamesh, to create all these things, what is that value proposition? Only for this we are using these measures? No. One of the advantage is, for example, here I have segments. Okay, I'm just going to remove the segments. Now I'm a little bit crazy now. I want to see which product I want to see which product is providing me a good profit versus sales ratio. I can see, okay, this Canon is the project which is a product, Canon image class advanced copier. It is a Xerox machine kind of thing. Okay, it is giving you something like 41% of the profit, 41% margin you have in this particular product. Okay, can you see that? So you are able to see which are the products which are actually giving you positive appreciation, and there are also some products which you are actually selling it at discount. Okay, you can see that as well. Okay, so profit versus sales ratio can be actually been identified out here. There are few products which are actually having 50% margin, something like that. You can actually find this particular thing. Okay, and adding to that, another thing what you can actually do. So you might be saying, Sangamesh, if I want to create profit versus sales ratio, then I have to create one measure called as total profit. Then I have to create another measure, okay, called as total sales. Then I have to use these two things to divide. Don't you feel that it is a very tedious task? You may actually ask me like this. Then I say, you are a little bit lazy to create all these measures. Then what you can actually do is you can create something called as variables. You can actually create something called as variables. Sangmesh, what does variables mean? So what you can actually do here, please be with me, please be attentive. Okay, what you can actually do is, I can just say, I'm just going to remove this. Okay, no, I'm not going to remove this. Okay, I will create another measure. I will create another measure which will provide you the same information. I will create another measure. Okay. So I call this with a short form. I will say profit versus sales ratio, PVSR. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, now please be with me. Please be with me. Now what I can actually do is, I can say control enter. I can say control enter. I can say control enter. Then what I can actually do is, I can create something called as var, VAR, variable, which is called as variable. I'm just going to create a variable called as profit. Okay, I can just create a variable called as profit underscore. Okay, I'm just typing this underscore to make it a little bit unique. That's it, nothing else. Okay, then I'm going to say sum of profit. Sum of profit. Similarly, please be with me. I'm just going to create shift enter. Then I'm going to say var variable. Then I'm going to say sales underscore. The only reason why I'm actually using underscore is because to make it a little bit unique, because I don't want to create any case sensitive issues. Okay. Then what I'm going to say is, I'm just going to say sum. Okay. I'm just going to say sum. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to say sales. Okay. I'm just going to say sales. Now I have two variables. One is called as sales. One is called as sum. Okay. I need to close this bracket as well. Okay. Now this is fine. Okay. So now I have a variable called as profit. Now I have a variable called as sales as well. Agree with me? Agree with me? Agree with me? So these two are completely different. Then the third thing what I can actually do is, I can create something called as return, return. Okay.
Shift enter, no?
Shift enter. You're absolutely right, sir. Shift enter. Okay. So don't try it. I'm there to help you. I will give you sufficient amount of time to try the same instance. Okay. Please be with me. Okay. So then I'm going to say return. Then I will say divide. Okay. And then I'm going to say divide. Then I will provide numerator, that is profit, PRO, profit. Then I'm just going to provide the sales, SALES, sales. That's it. And I'm going to say enter. So here I'm not creating a way, what I can say, a measure called as profit. Here I'm not creating a measure called as sales. Here I'm not creating another measure called as profit versus sales. I'm just going to create only one measure. I'm just going to create one measure. Then what I'm doing is, I'm getting the output. Let me see what the value I'm getting from this particular thing. Let me put this out here, something like this. Okay. So see here, both of the values are same. I need to put it as a percentage. I have to put this in a percentage. See here, both of the values are same itself. There is no difference. There is no difference. Agree with me, guys? Do you agree with me, guys? Okay. So here, what I did, I created these measures. I created these measures. I used these two measures to create another measure. But here I was a little bit smart. What I did is, I created two measures inside the PVSR. So what is going to happen? Okay, here I won't have too many. I mean, if you are able to see, there is nothing called as profit underscore. There is nothing called as sales underscore. If you see here, there is nothing called as sales. I can actually search here the column profit underscore. See here, PROFIT, profit underscore. This is not available. This is inside. Okay, and this is one of the technique which is actually used for DAX query optimization as well. So if you have too many measures and all, DAX can be slower. So for that, we also tend to incorporate these types of techniques to handle it. Hope you are clear on this particular part, guys. Hope you are clear on this particular part. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? If you don't have any questions, feel free to try this on your own.
One question.
Yes, sir. Kemandas.
When you press this shift enter, first control enter, right? After PVSR, control enter.
Control, not control enter. Shift enter, sir. Shift enter.
After PVSR, first row.
Yes, sir. Shift enter.
Shift enter. Okay.
Yes.
Then you write this
var.
profit
VAR.
VAR and profit underscore, right?
You can write underscore profit as well. But the only thing is we want to keep it a little bit unique. That's the reason. The column name must not get messed up. So that's the reason. Okay.
But this profit underscore, which column is that?
Profit underscore, it is coming from, or in there is a column called as profit inside order 2017.
Okay.
Order 2017 is a table. Inside that you have something called as profit as a column.
So that profit is already there. That's why we are written this profit underscore, right?
No. Profit underscore is the assignment variable. So you have assigned profit, sum of profit, to a variable called as profit underscore.
If I write a direct profit, not underscore, then what will happen?
Nothing will happen. It will store the sum of profit inside profit, not profit underscore. Okay. So here you have to change profit. Okay.
Nothing will happen. The result will be same, no?
Result will be same. The only reason why I used underscore is to keep unique.
For our understanding.
Right? For our understanding, or see, there is something called as case sensitive issue, which basically means if you have multiple profits in the DAX function. So so tomorrow if I want to use profit variable itself, it will be really confusing. So that's the reason. Okay, we are just going to say profit underscore so that we can actually easily identify, oh, this is the variable that we have created here, something like that. For uniqueness, I have done that, nothing else. If you want, I can remove this for you. If it is creating any kind of confusion, I will remove this for you. It will do this. It will do the same task. No worries. It is a standard practice what we tend to follow. See here, the same information. Agree with me, guys. Agree with me. Kemandas.
Okay.
Clear.
Yes.
This is a standard practice. It is a standard practice what we follow in entire world. Okay. Because see, when you have one variable called as profit or one variable called as sales, there might be a bit of confusion. Okay, the sales is coming from this particular table or that particular table. If you say sales underscore or underscore profit or underscore sales, it can be a little bit easier for you to recognize, okay, this is a variable inside PVSR, something like that. Hope you're able to understand it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's mean this is a smart way.
Smart way. You are absolutely right. It's a smart way.
Where create this two columns, total profit, then after total sales, and then we create third column, profit versus sale. So that will be eliminated by this control enter function, right?
Control?
This control enter, this
shift enter, not control enter. Shift enter.
Shift enter, right?
Yes.
Shift enter. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I have opened this DAX so that if you are facing any kind of difficulty, you can use this as a kind of reference. Okay, and try. I haven't received any confirmation. I think I got 2 confirmations. Okay. What is full syntax of divide function? So we will be discussing about this in a very detailed aspect. Just give me some time. Just give me some time. Akash. Akash is done, I assume so? No. So how many of you are done? Yes, Vijay. Yes, Vijay.
Yeah, we are just practicing it once.
Sure, sir. No worries. So instead of sum, if you want to use min, max, or something like that, you can feel free to use it. Okay, it's very, very similar to your all your Excel functions itself. It's nothing different. We are going to make it a little more complicated. Please be with me. Okay, just be with me. If you are done, just say done on the chat, because we have something to cover. Ravindra is done. How about others? How about Akash, Amit, Ashwini, Rathod, Khimandas, Praveen, Vijay? If you're finding any kind of difficulty, you can cross-refer this thing, what I can say, DAX, which I have actually written. Khimandas is done. How about others, guys? Any difficulty? Akash, Amit, Ashwini, Praveen, Rathod, Vijay?
Sangamesh.
Yes, Vijay.
I just want to share the screen.
Sure, sure. You can share your screen. Okay.
Hope you can see the screen.
What is wrong?
So now I just want to total for this total profit and total sale.
Okay. So total profit. Can you write total profit here? Total, just write total profit. Okay. Okay.
Maybe there is any error for
okay. So you have syntax error. Can you close the bracket? Can you close the bracket? So here, okay, no worries. Can I take control of your system?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this normally happens when you are not able to, I mean, when you are this thing, what I can say, system is not able to recognize the table. Okay. So for that, what we have to do is we have to say order. So order 2017, write something like this. Okay. Then check for the column.
Column is total profit.
Oh,
Below.
yes, I got it. Yes, I got it. So you cannot use a measure inside this thing. I will help you with it. This is total profit, right? So I'm just going to use total profit here. Okay, this particular thing right here. Okay, so I'm just going to say enter. Okay, I will say enter. It will be working fine, no worries. Okay, there won't be any issue. Okay, so what you have done is you were trying to take total profit.
Right.
Okay, so this is a measure, right? Agree with me, Vijay?
Yes.
So you were trying to take this. Okay, but what we have done is we have taken sum of this particular thing.
Okay.
You are able to get it. Okay, yes. So I will do another thing right now. Okay, now I will do another thing. I will say control and shift enter. So here I will say return. Okay, return. So here I'm going to say divide. Okay, here I'm going to say divide. Here I'm going to say TP, total profit itself. Okay, but here I will use the total sales. I will use the total sales. मुझे यहाँ पे sum को use नहीं करना है. I must never use this sum. Hope you're able to get it. Huh? Please make sure this. Okay, now I can say total profit. See here, total sales, right? Like this. Okay, and I can say enter. It will provide me the result. Okay. Hope you are able to get it. Huh?
Okay.
So the only thing what you did, it's a very small mistake. You inside this, instead of providing a column, okay, you provided a measure. I'm extremely sorry. It was, I also need to show you what is the sum function is going to write. What is the input data? What is the output data? So I will be explaining that, okay, within few minutes, but be with me. I mean, I have not done that. So that's the reason you had this particular issue. Okay. No worries. It's a legitimate issue. Okay. So next time, whenever you are using sum function, please make sure you are using this, this particular thing. Okay. Column instead of a measure. Okay. Okay. I hope you are able to get it. Okay. So now, can you stop sharing your screen, this thing, Vijay?
Yes.
So now, there are various types of DAX. Okay. There are various types of DAX. Okay. So there is extremely sorry. There is something called as date and time function DAX. So these are the set of functions. There is not one DAX function. There are set of DAX functions. Similarly, time intelligence functions. Similarly, information functions, logical functions, mathematical functions, statistical functions. Statistical functions. Okay. So these are some set of functions. Okay. So Sangamesh, then why are you not providing it on PPT? That might be the question which might be coming in your mind. Okay. So for that, I request everyone to write Power BI DAX on their Google. And please make sure, please be on my screen. Okay. Here there is something called as docs.microsoft.com en DAX. So this is the legitimate link. I repeat again, this is the legitimate link. Okay. So there are, as I've told you previously, there are really wonderful big books written by, Alberto Ferrari. Okay. Like Definitive Guide for DAX and all. So these are the best books which are actually available in market. Okay. But unfortunately, these are also a little bit outdated, because the reason is this, because if I'm going to say aggregation function, there are various types of aggregation. Sum is one of the aggregation. Function. So if I'm going to say sum, okay, so the last update was being made on 26/8/2021. So this was the last modification which was being done here on this particular, in this particular thing. Okay. So the reason is these functions do get changed again and again, and that is one reason, that is only one reason why I don't like to provide any material. The only material what I want to provide is the link. Go to the link, start referring only that particular thing, because today I may provide you one this thing, what I can say, one DAX this thing. So what will actually happen? This will be holding true for only couple of days or couple of months or couple of years. That's it. After that, it will be invalid. That's the reason I always keep on saying that don't try to buy really expensive books by Alberto Ferrari and all. They are really good. I have a huge respect for them. If you need to invest something like 2 to 3K to buy these books, okay, because they are quite expensive for a layman in India. And if you buy them, okay, something like 10 to 20% of the book is outdated. Okay, so when I open some function, because this was the function we were been using couple of times, isn't it? So if I say some function, okay, so it is going to provide the syntax first. The syntax is first you have to use sum, and you always need to use a column only. I repeat again, you always need to use a column only, and it will also provide you the parameter as well. What is the parameter? It need to be a column. Okay, what the column is going to contain? It must contain number or sum. If you are going to provide a text variable, no, it is not going to take. Okay, it need to be number itself. Okay, number itself, text, not the text data. Okay, please make sure this in your mind. Okay, and adding to that, what it is going to provide, it is always going to provide a decimal variable only. That's the reason if you see here, our data was having 2 dot this thing, what I can say, decimal value. Even this was also a decimal, we converted into a whole number, okay, by using this, isn't it? Okay, so something like this. So any DAX function, this is the syntax. Okay, so first it will provide you the name of the DAX. Second, it will provide you the syntax. Third, it is going to provide you the input parameters. Okay, output parameter, return value is the output parameter. What is the output? The DAX function is going to provide, and then it is going to provide you a remark. Okay, what this DAX function is intended for, what this DAX function will do, that will be provided here. Then last but not the least, they will provide you a small example, live example. Okay, how to use this particular thing. Okay, clean and clear, guys, clean and clear. Okay, so there are various types of DAX. Okay, let me see time and this thing. So if I'm going to say time and this thing, so there are various types of this thing. What I can say, there is something called as calendar. Okay, if I'm going to open this calendar, you will be able to see this function is used to create a calendar. Like I want to create a calendar from 1/1/2022 to 31st December 2022. You can create this using this. Okay, you can provide a start date, okay, and the ending date. Okay, what the start date need to contain? It need to contain a DAX expression. Okay, and returns a date time value. Okay, the DAX function need to return a date time value. Okay, something like that. Okay, then only you will be able to use it for the calendar, something like that. So remark. Okay, remark, there are certain what I can say, clauses like greater than, lesser than, start date, like end date must not be lesser than start date, something like that. These are some logic. Okay, so they are actually mentioning that particular thing. Okay, and they are also told about direct query and row level security. We won't discuss this because we are not at that particular level. Okay, then what they have done is they have actually provided 2 examples. Like here, the year is 2005, the month is 1, the year is 1. Okay, here this is 2015, the month is 12, and the year is 30. Sorry, the last date is 31st. Okay, so there will be a calendar that will be created. There will be a calendar that will be created from 2005 to 2015. Hope you're able to get it. So something like this you can actually create. Okay, what I will do is, now I have actually showed you something called as measure. Okay, now I have showed you something called as measure. Now what I will do is, there is a function called as DATEDIFF. There is a function called as DATEDIFF. What is this DATEDIFF will do? It will provide the interval or the duration between the dates, okay. So if you read this, so let's read this and try to apply this on our this thing, what I can say, Power BI. Okay, so here there is a function called as DATEDIFF. What this DATEDIFF will do, it will provide you the basically the interval. Okay, so how to use this? I have to say DATEDIFF. I have to provide the starting day, and then I have to provide the ending day. Starting day I have to provide, then I have to provide the ending day. Then, okay, so they have specific condition like what is meant by interval. Okay, so interval, I can actually chunk it down. I can actually chunk down if I want to say how many years there is a difference between this date to that date, how many quarters there is a difference, how many months, how many days, or something like that. I can actually find this difference, okay, using this DATEDIFF function. So that is being provided here in the interval. Can you see that? Can you see that, guys? Can you see that? So similarly, they have also provided the return value, how the return value is going to be. Okay, what is the remarks? Okay, basically the word of caution that you have to see. So they are saying return if start date is larger than end date, something like that. Okay, and here they have provided a couple of this thing, what I can say, options how to use this particular DATEDIFF function. Okay, clean and clear. So now what I'm going to do is I will go to my Power BI. Okay, I'm just going to go for my Power BI. Then what I will do is I'm just going to create a column. Please make sure this. I'm going to create a column. What I will do is I'm just going to click on this 3 dots and I will say new column. Okay, I'm just going to say new column. Okay, here in this new column. Okay, so what I will do is I will say DATEDIFF, date_diff. I will say date_diff. Please be with me. I will give you sufficient time to practice this. Okay, DATEDIFF is equal to I will say DATEDIFF. Okay, this is the function. Then I have to provide the first date, that is the starting date, right? So I have, see here, I have something called as order date, and I also have something called as ship date. I have order date. I also have ship date. I want to find the difference. What is the difference between order date and the ship date? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say ship date, okay, comma, order date, okay, order date, something like this. Then what I'm going to do is then they are going to ask me the interval. See here, then they are going to ask me the interval. If you are able to see this, okay, I have a couple of intervals, second, minute, hour, day, week, and all these things. What I will do is I will use a day interval. I mean, how many days there is a delay, something like that. Okay, I will say days. Okay, and I'm just going to close this and I'm just going to say enter. I'm just going to say enter. So now if you are able to see this, there is a different icon, which is a table icon with a summation symbol. A table icon, can you see that? A table icon with a summation symbol. Can you see that? Okay, so what I can actually do here is I can just click on here. I'll be able to see this column. So if I'm going to hover on this, I'll be able to see this. Okay, see here, start date and the end date. Okay, so there is a 5 days of delay. There is 0 days of delay, something like this. Okay, I think I have used start date and ship date. So I will just alter this. I will say Control X. I will say delete. Okay, and I'm just going to paste it and say comma, something. Oh, sorry, something like this. Now all of them will be a positive value. Okay, just give me a minute. See here, I have created a calculated column, and calculated column can be seen. Calculated column can be seen here in data table. And interestingly, it can also be seen in data model as well. See here, you will be able to see that. Okay, which is that column, DATEDIFF, right? See here, but okay, you cannot see this in transform data. Can you see that? You cannot see this DATEDIFF in transform data. So this is the limitation. There is a difference between the Power Query and the DAX. So if you are going to see here, okay, there is no column called as DATEDIFF column. Can you see that? Okay, because DAX is different, Power Query is different. Okay, please make sure this. Okay, so if I'm going to see here, okay, I have created a column, okay, called as DATEDIFF. Okay, and I'm able to find this particular thing. Okay, how much delay. So I'm able to see this. There is a product called as Alderson based on stackable storage self platinum. So this is having a delay of something like 5 days. I can just sort this as well. See here, I can actually sort this descending, okay, highest to lowest. So this particular Alliance rubber bands. So this takes something like 8 days, okay, to deliver. Okay, hope you are able to get it. Okay, something like this you can also create. Something like this even you can also create. So what I'm actually asking you is, DAX is something which requires a little bit of practice, trial and error and everything. So now you can create something called as DATEDIFF function, okay, and create a calculated column. And let's see if you are actually facing any kind of issues. I will give you exactly 5 minutes of time to complete this. Okay. I think meanwhile, I will just see there is a chat. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or concern related to a calculated column, I'm there to help them as well. So people can actually refer the documentation as well. I'm just going to put it in the chat as well. So this is fine. Don't see my Power BI. Look at this DAX and try to create your own DAX. Guys, if you are done, then say hi or hello on the chat so that I'm aware. That's really good, Kemandas. How about others? How about others? If someone is facing any kind of issue, then I'm there to help them out. Guys, any difficulty? Any difficulty? Vijay, Kemandas, Kash, Praveen, Amit, Ashwini, Ravindra. any questions, guys? Any questions? If you are done, I'm just going to proceed. Good to proceed? Good to proceed? Thank you, Praveen. Okay. So as of now, what you have done is you have understood something called as how to create a measure, how to create a column. Then now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to help you with something called as a table as well. To create something called as table as well. So if you see this aggregation function, there are various types of aggregation functions. And along with that, there is actually a function called a SUMX function. Okay, if you see, there is something called a sum, there is something called a SUMX. Similarly, there is something called as count A. Along with that, you also have something called as count X function. Similarly, you have average, and along with average, you have average X as well. Okay, we will try to understand what is this difference first. And adding to that, we will be also understanding how to use a variable called as group by function, GROUP, group by table manipulation function. Okay, group by function. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is, okay, I'm just going to share this two functions on chat. Okay, so that you keep this in handy. Okay. This one, and adding to that, we will be also having some X function, right? Yes, this particular function. Okay. Yes, this is the one. I want everyone to keep these two functions handy, because we will be using only these two functions to create a group by function. Okay. So tomorrow or day after tomorrow or any day, okay, sometimes you may require to do data preparation. Okay, to do data preparation, create a table which contains segment. Okay, like something like this. Okay, something like this. I want segment. Okay, adding to that, okay, I want to see which segment is making what amount of profit. I want to see this specific information. Okay, so there are various options. So one of the option to cross verify or to identify whether the values are correct or not is by using something called as group by. Okay, so we will create a table. Okay, which actually provide the same value which is available right here. So for that, what I can actually do is I will demonstrate table creation, and I will also help you, okay, how this can be replicated as well. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for modeling. Then I'm going to say for new table. So here in this new table, okay, so I'm just going to use this particular variable. So what they are saying, the first variable need to be the table, then group by name, then the name of the column, then the expression. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 criteria for group by. These are the 4 criteria for group by. 1, 2, 3, 4 criteria.
Sorry, Ramesh.
Yes, yes, Vijay.
Could you continue on tomorrow, because up to 5 o'clock, because after that we have work.
Okay.
So as we yesterday also, means previous session also, we have till 5, please.
No worries, no worries. We will continue this in our next session. Okay, no worries.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Vijay. Okay, I'm extremely sorry if I'm holding you back. Okay.
No issue.
Okay. Have a nice day, guys.